Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? This is the last Friday of February. Like, I don't know where February it went.
Right.
For when it comes to like Black History Month, we already know we Blacky Black 365 every day, all year.
Yep.
But it's like this month is like the longest, but the shortest. Like, I don't know between January 16th when Martin Luther King up to like President's Day, I don't know what happens to like that 3 week span, but it disappears. Because when I look
It
as a
does.
teacher, I'm thinking about like 55 school days of school. So if you are a parent, we're at like the mark of 55 days left of the school year, and that's it. If you're Columbus Public, like I am, then you factor in that week of being off on spring break, then you have like 55 days to June 1st. Like it's bananas. Like, and I always say like this is the time of just like wrapping up new skills, and then you kind of go into like that testing mode. I will be talking about some testing. I will be posting in our live feed after the show is over, just some testing dates that you should be aware of. Um,
Okay.
if you're a third grader, if you're a parent of a third grader, make sure that test will be happening sometime in end of March, mid of April. And so third grade guarantee is back on the table where your child has to have a 700 score. But we'll talk about that. But kind of look like, because I'm always like going into education mode. But hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, Lois Lane? How are you? How are you?
Girl, good,
I see you
just
fly.
woo.
I see you fly tonight. I see your beauty. Whoop whoop.
Yep. And yes, it is all mine. For anybody who got questions.
And that's all it is. It's natural, natural. So what's been up with you? How was your week? How was your
Um,
week?
it was a good week. It was a short week. We had Monday off because of President's Day, but
Yes.
I mean, other than that, same old kids in school, me working, you know. So
So what was one of your positive? I always in my week, and I always ask my kids this in school. What was something positive that you could take into the weekend? What was something that positive that happened to you?
you know what? I would say something positive that, I can take into the weekend is it is okay if you don't fit others' mold in your circle. Like, as long as you know who you are on the inside and you know what works for you and your family,
Man,
that's okay.
wow. Now that is so powerful. So powerful. Because with how can I say about social media? You know what I'm saying? It is
Mm,
so much when it comes to, like you said, someone thinking about who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like we change, we pivot so much of how, like you said, our friends and our family. And I like the way you said that, where you have to understand like who you are.
hmm And
Yeah.
you know what? I've also learned, especially over the last couple years, is it's okay if you're in a different place than other people and there are things that you want to accomplish that you may not have yet, but somebody else has. It doesn't mean that you're a failure, you know? Like, there are times where I stay off of social media on purpose because I'll admit sometimes I can just be scrolling through and I may see pictures or posts from people and it could be something that I be wanting to do or trying to do or no, I can't just do just yet, while the girls are still young. And yeah, I may get in my feelings a little bit. So,
Hmm.
I do take hiatus. I
Okay.
don't be on there as much. And you know what? You have to do that because if you're on social media a lot, you will start to question yourself and what you've done and where you feel you should be, I think.
Okay.
So, but yeah, just you know who you are, you know where you want to go. And for me, I look at it like as long as you got the Lord leading you, then you good. Every nobody else knows who you are truly on the inside And then also, nobody else really knows the ins and out of your relationship, whether you're married or just in a relationship, period. People can have their expectations, their questions, but you know what? As long as you and your significant other is good and y'all on the same page, what everybody else think don't matter.
And that's great. I'm glad we are opening the show with this because of self-care and self-awareness and self-help. It's something that I never did myself, never took care of myself until I was flat on my back and had major health issues. Then I would be like, okay, I gotta do some self-care. And I think when COVID hit, for me, I loved it because it was this opportunity, that this rare window that the whole world had got almost like a new lease on life. We were at home, you could eat dinner around the table, you were able to just have a conversation. Even though you were on social media, it wasn't that focal point. And for me, I'm a new business owner still. I look at it as where you said, like, my cup is my cup. My blessings are my blessings. And yes, it will make you second guess yourself. And that's why a lot of people get caught up and they're trying to run the race. And like you said, you can't run the race. What's for you is going to be for you. And that's why I love the journey. I love the journey because it allows me to see. And what I'm doing this year is actually like stopping to smell the journey, to see like, man, where I come from, what I'm doing. And so that goes back to like, even in my class, I started the school in the middle of a school year. And I was like, how does that look for me? What does that look like? And that's where I started saying every week since I started was, why do I leave the end of the week? We don't really think about that because so much stuff happens. We watch CNN News every day. And at the end on Friday, they kind of do like a recap of the news. And that's first I've been watching it for 2 years. But when I came to this school, that first week when they did the recap, it was like this click in my mind, like you said. It was like, what's for you is for you. And you think about how much news plays out in a day, in an hour, by minutes. And then you think about your life. It's a lot that happens in your life, daily, hourly. Just get up in the morning when you and your husband leave and you part ways and your children part ways. And when they all come back, you start to listen to each other's day and how they're so different and what they go through, what challenges they go through, what positivity. And I was just like, wow, I want to open up the show, with this. When I look at Black History Month was different this year than it ever's been done before. I think we as African-American women, especially women in sports, like when I look at us, Tony D, there ain't too many women that talk sports from a woman's perspective. Stats, like you my jam to my peanut butter because like all the stats and like when I first met you, it was like this is the ins and outs. Like I am the emotion and the culture, and you're like, don't play with me. Back on 1986, this is what happened on the ball court. Like, and I'm like, every week, I'm like, oh my God, like, what am I going to learn from Tony D? Like, what is she going to say that's going to trigger like something that we saw? Like, but I looked at it from a different lens. And that's what you got to start thinking about. Like you said, like when you make life decisions for your family, it's your decision.
Yep.
And I think we as Black people, we get outside of that because we're like, oh my God, my mom's going to be mad. My brothers and sisters going to be mad. So what? What? So what? If that means I'm going to go across the nation, that's my choice for my family.
Yep.
I didn't ask for your opinion. I'm just sharing with you. And sometimes I don't even have to share and it should be okay. But I'm glad we was able to talk about that because, I want to do a show like on sports and self-help because there's so much mental health that is happening in the sports. That'll be another topic, especially with March Madness coming up. I really would like to talk about sports. In a couple of weeks, they're going to do a memorial for Stanley, for him. And it was just like, wow, again, you see how precious time is and how health care is so, when I hear mental health and those hot words, I'm just like, that was never talked about in our culture. That was never talked about at all, and so it's like, what, Demetrius Stanley. So they're going to have a memorial for him. And it's like, he was really a focal point in
Mm-hmm.
Things that you never would talk about. You never would talk about. And so now we're here and you're bringing it up again. Like, it's okay to be where you're at, to just be.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. You can be where you at and be okay. So,
But you know what? Not only that, if you have dreams and if you have goals that are not the norm or the quote unquote standard, also, that's okay.
yeah,
And like I talk to my girls already and I tell them, I said, look, I said, go for yours. I said, if you happen to have a baby or you get married, that doesn't mean you stop.
right.
I feel that from generation to generation, there's always been this narrative of you sacrifice once you get a family so your kids can have better.
Right.
But I look at that and I'm like, you know what? But all that does is that teaches your children to sacrifice.
Right.
Now, one thing I've told my girls is I was like, look, I ended up a single mom at this age and with this many because of decisions and choices that I made. And with my oldest two, I just keep it real with them. Look, you
Yeah.
feel that you're ready? We'll get you on birth control, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I just have those open conversations with them. And that's the other thing. It's like, we can't be afraid to have the conversations that'll plant the seed for certain topics. Because if you don't have it, they're having it anyway in school these days.
Yeah. And they're planting seeds, not with the right information. Yeah.
Exactly.
So let me plant the correct seed instead of you learning it from someone else. That's going to plant something that might not be what I need for you to hear. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'll say the same thing too. We all got girls. We're girl moms over here. And it's like, you have to. Like, I look at myself, I'm 52, and some of the conversations that I have with my kids now, I would have never had with my mom or never even had, period, because it wasn't even allowed. But now,
well, you know what? I won't say that it wasn't allowed because one of my best friends, the girl's godmom, her mom was open with her about those subjects. My mother was not.
And that's what I'm saying.
I really think it depends on the parent.
Right. But even then it was still like boy, girls, the birds and the bees and blah, blah, but it was not really like, and again, then don't even think about the church. Like, I was in church, so we really didn't really learn about, like, again, like these conversations and our kids. And you have to have a conversation. Like, I'm always telling parents, you have to have that conversation, even if you really don't want to, because like you said, they're in school having it, or their kids are showing them that, and you want to be able to be the focal point, because now I always say parents are the secondary when it comes to the world that we live in now, in some instances, because everything is fast movement, social media is present. If you don't want, I can just go Google it. There ain't no encyclopedia. There ain't no encyclopedia. It's like, oh, I'm gonna Google it, or series, tell me about sex, blah, 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 and it's gonna blow out everything that you ever could think of. So there's no level, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just open information. These kids are digital processors. That's why I say every day. And that's why it goes back into school buildings when you say in self-care of like making sure that you have what's great, because these kids are digitally sound. How we were, it might have took us years before we found out about the new songs that was on the TV. Now, that song with the Cuff It, the Cardi B, you gonna know all that in less than instance. Oh, can I say series lyrics? And there it is. Where we didn't find out. Like, I didn't know what another one bites the dust. I didn't know even what some of the Prince songs were until I was like almost in my mid-20s. Like, this is what Red Corvette was talking about. Oh, okay, and even knowing the real lyrics, like, oh, okay. Because when that song came on, your mama said, go upstairs, or unless you came down there to dance for them, and then they was like, go back upstairs. So you got to hear a little bit about when your mom said, come on down here and do a jig for us. And then you had to go back upstairs. But it was like just a wait of time. But yeah, I'm glad you were able to share and be, transparent, because it's always great to be able to hear. And I tell people, like, being transparent is not a weakness. It's really a strength. It's a strength, because you give somebody else that strength to, to talk and to share. So we're going to jump right in. Tony D, this is me and you right now. The NBA news. So All-Star Weekend. So what was your thoughts?
Really didn't watch it much. I'm not gonna lie. Like the only thing I really watched was the celebrity game on Friday when we were
Okay.
doing the show. Other than that, I really didn't watch it. You
Okay.
know, I haven't really been into the All Star weekend that much. So
Mm.
lately, so
For
yeah.
me, it was one of the best. When I say one of the most single best competitive seasons in history at this point, when it came to the actual terms of just the closeness of the game, like the All-Star game on Sunday was still like, like I call it like the flag football, but it was still like, it was fun to watch this year for whatever reason. Like when I look at the dunk contest, it really, well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but it was just seeing like Kyrie Irving, the acquisition that was happening between them and now they're playing in two different teams this year. Seeing Stephen Curry was not there at all, seeing Johannes like take the lead and to win. I mean, in another fashion. I mean, it was just a different perspective in the game itself, and to see like more people having fun because it was really like almost like the first game again after COVID. So that kind of leads me since you can kind of watch it, but I know you probably saw some highlights. Do you think the Mac McClung revitalized the dunk contest? Just what you've heard, what you've seen from highlights. Do you think it revitalized the dunk contest?
You know what? I honestly think we'll know next year.
Okay.
I mean, the hype was there.
Okay.
But I think next year's interest will really tell us. Stop messing with your hair.
Okay. For me, it was like I didn't know too much about it, like until to Arkell said, like this dude been balling forever, and so he had sent me a couple of highlights, and I'll post those in the group, and it was like, what? Like this was a 24-year-old dude that made the same amount of money in one night that he had made in a in a D League contract, and so he had like a 10-day contract with the 76ers, and to me, he gave the dunk contest such a boost of morale, the moves he made. I mean, it was like watching, even I know Vince Carter is still like the main and the Jordan, but just to see the little young kid that didn't have like nothing to lose. It was almost like watching a college kid go into the league, had nothing to lose, didn't know he was going to win, and he literally put on a show for like the whole time. Like it was the whole time. He ended up putting on his high school jersey and he did this literally like this windmill. I was just like, what is happening? And even to see the crowd get into it, like it was just amazing. Like to see a little young kid, and it was like to see the biggest stars, and there was this little kid, Mac McClung. Like, who is Mac McClung? Everybody was on Twitter was like, who is Mac McClung? Who is Mac McClung? Everybody kept saying it, and it was, man, it was like, wow. And he won $100,000. Like he made like $8,000 more than what he was making already. Like what? Like who knew? So it was, and he said he was just playing. He said, I was just here to have fun. So I was like, yeah. So my question next too is like, what do you think is the future of the NBA on TV? Because
they have as far as All-Star
they have a new deal. The future of NBA has a new deal that's out there, a collective bargaining with the NBA. So what's going on? The NBA will turn toward negotiating a new TV deal. The current 9-year deal is $24 billion with ESPN, ABC, and Warner Brothers. Okay, so it is with Warner Brothers. So it's getting ready to expire. And so the league was going to be seeking a new deal. No. And it's going to impact not only from what they're saying, the TV, that the advertisements, but it's going to be impacting players, salaries, as well as the franchise value. So what do you think?
So what? Money. I mean, it's going to be interesting, with these new TV deals, period. Like, the NBA, NFL. It's because I think we talked about it a little bit last week, or maybe we didn't, but load management, like, that's becoming an issue in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And, like these TV deals that they're getting. I was listening to a show this past week and they were like, or no, I was listening to the radio and they made a good point. They was like, you know what? They could have a 70 game season, but the owners ain't giving up them 12 games for the NBA.
No.
And you got players taking time off and like, but I think that also reflects the commissioner because nobody did that when David Stern was the commissioner.
Heck no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Adam Silver came in and he was like, play along to get along and, trying to make sure he was on the players' good side. But I feel one thing it's done, this next contract negotiation, I feel the owners are going to push back.
Okay.
So all I got to say is they better get ready for a possible lockout.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because I know Amazon, they linked a deal with WNBA, which is huge. Because now you're looking at Amazon Prime, you're looking at, and again, because Maria, she worked for them. So I'm looking forward to seeing what is really going to happen. Like, oh my God, how beautiful. That thing. Oh my God. So look how long it is.
Right.
We gotta take a break. Because you already know we all about the kiddos here. Girl moms here. Oh my God, that is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh my God. So we're gonna keep on moving right along. So who will win the East and the West? So who's gonna win the East and the West?
Oh yes, please get your glasses. That's right.
Yeah, who's gonna win?
The West. Ooh. Hold on. I gotta put this down real quick.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna keep that. So come on and chime in. If you are watching, log in to YouTube Sports Kills Podcast, and you'll see the show live. If you are on Facebook, click the link on Sports Kills Podcast, and you can watch the show. So we're gonna put a quick little break, let her get settled, and then we will be right back. So the question is on the table. Who will win the East and the West? We'll be right back.
Can I get one of those crackers? Oh, yeah, I get it. I get it.
You okay? Let's see. The East. You know what? Right now, Boston has the best record, but Philly, I don't know. Like, I think Philly is a sleeper. Like, I think it's all going to depend on who gets hot.
Okay.
To me, the West is so wide open. I mean, the Lakers won the other night, and LeBron only had 13 points.
Yeah, I have Denver and Boston in the finals.
All right.
That's who I have.
Boston. See, to me, the West is so wide open. I feel for the West, it's like whoever gets hot and goes on a roll will be the ones to come out of the West. I think the East, I believe the East really is between three teams: Milwaukee, Boston, and Philly.
Okay. Yeah, I got Denver. Boston's gonna come out the East because there ain't nobody else that can defend them. Denver, they're the most solid as of right now because everybody else got new players, new things are happening. You got the Pelicans because you got Zion's injury. You got New Orleans. I mean, March is going to be here, and this is going to be like, who's going to be able to buckle down and deal with the stretch? And like, who was
I'll
going to
tell
be
you
able to play
what.
consistent? Now that
I
Durant and Urban have had their trades, you got Russell Westbrook going into a different, he starts tonight. Like, it's really going to see, like, in contention, like, who is really, what trade really did the team good? That's what it's going to be based off of. Like, what team really was able to do the good? And I just keep telling, like, the Denver. I just keep saying it's going to be Denver. They're going to be able to come out the West because they're the most solid. They're going to be able to do the stretch. And I just feel that it's going to be something new. The Lakers are going to be in another season, a tough road playing. And I'm excited to see because this is the time that I start watching it right now.
Yeah.
And then that kind of goes into like this Charles Barkley and Draymond Green heated exchange. This is, like I said, this is the time where you start really seeing basketball. Like, this is the time that I start watching basketball, especially on the NBA level, right after the All-Star weekend. Because this is when you start to see them play because they have a purpose to play. They got to win something. It's a conference, those last couple games because, man, did you watch the Draymond Green and Charles Barkley? Listen.
No.
So this was on Sunday night, TNT. This was like the NBA All-Star. Like, Green joined the broadcast. So he joined the broadcast, and it quickly became like this back and forth analyst. Okay, hold on. What's up, RKLs?
What's going on?
What's going on? So we kind of jumping into the NBA, and I was just asking, did you all, watch the exchange between Draymond Green and Charles Barkley?
Okay, well, yeah, come on.
Do you think it went south really quick, or you think it was just, what was your thoughts on that?
I didn't say the same.
Hey, what y'all doing? What are y'all doing? You already know it's supposed to be happening. Well, like I said before, Sunday night, the TNT, the NBA All-Star game, Green joined the broadcast. And then what he did was like, it just quickly became this back and forth and it was going down between Charles Barkley. So, RKL, you know how him and Shaq always go back and forth? Draymond Green wasn't ready for it. I don't think he was ready for the back and forth. I think he thought it was kind of like was cool at first. And then he started realizing it was getting serious because that's just how I look at how Charles Barkley and all the rest of the panel talked to each other. And it was just, man, he just went off. And then he was like, Green was like, man, you crazy. You said this last year, but we all know you don't know what you're talking about. So it was like, I don't think Draymond Green realized that it was just that conversation because he went all the way to the left. Like, what? And Charles Barkley was like, y'all done. Y'all not going nowhere. He's like, y'all cooked. I mean, he was just like losing it. And it was like, and it was literally this exchange. And I was like, oh, like, okay, Charles Barkley. And it all started like when he said, y'all are done.
All right, I'm about to watch this real quick.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch that. And that's what he said. He was like, Golden State's done. So that's my question. Do you think Golden State is done this year?
No. The West, to me, is so wide open. When you look at standings, it's like, I mean, look at the Lakers. They're number 13, and it's like, what, 3.5 games from the number 6 spot. But everybody at the top knows they got to keep winning in order to keep their stance or move up. So the folks at the bottom, the teams at the bottom, they can get hot, but if the teams above them stay steady, then, they can't go nowhere.
And they got to have Stephen. I mean, he gonna still be out for a couple more weeks because of his leg injury, and they're 9th. But like you said, the bottom always does well, but they can be putting right. And I know Draymond Green gonna play even more better now because of the thought of looking crazy. Because Charles Barkley, he like the like the Stephen A. Smith, like he just don't care. He don't care, and that's why I think that like that whole debacle, as I call it. I think Draymond Green, he took it too far because I don't think he really was like, okay, Charles was just saying, like all they did. Like how him, Shaq, Ernie, and Kevin Smith, they all just talk trash about each other. And Draymond, he took the offense and he went straight there like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You crazy. And Charles Barkley, I think he was like, oh, well, you gonna get underneath my skin? I'm gonna keep riding you. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep saying it.
Well, Charles, I just watched it. Charles just spoke his mind on how he felt about it. And as usual, Draymond Green and his little Michigan Green weenies feelings. So, his little feelings was hurt. So they in ninth place right now in the West. So they struggling. So, they're going to make a little run in the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to win it. I don't know if they're going to make the finals, but they not cooked like Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley just got that role, and as usual, them two dudes being cahoots to get the ratings up. So it wasn't that big of a deal as far as my concern as any type of exchange, but he just ruffled his feathers, and as usual, little pink lips was in his field.
Because back last year they got into a debacle. Last year back in June they was having words again at this same space. So, and you see what happened. So, he knows how Draymond Green gonna react, but it was like live because usually they kind of like cut, but that because they was even acting crazy on the sideline of last year's matter of fact, it was last year's All-Star game when they was having a problem. They got into the little scuffle and conversation, but I said, listen, it is what it is. Like you said, it is what it is. It's like it's conversation. That's what they do. So what's up, Bookie Troy? How are you?
Bookie.
Hey, what up, y'all?
What up?
We got some podcast matinee going on.
Lois Lane, she doing a Grinch tonight, Bookie Troy.
Oh Lord, they both froze.
She hiding in the darkness. She getting her Aaron Rodgers on.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, all day. So the question was what happened between Charles Barkley and Draymond Green went too far, or it was just conversation?
What happened?
So last week on the All-Star, so they invited Draymond Green to the panel to talk about the season, where they were at so far, and they got into a quick exchange where Charles Barkley said, "Hey, y'all cooked, y'all done," and Draymond Green just went off like, "You don't know what you're talking about." This last year, like, just went off. That just went, and and Charles Barkley, he took it like, "Oh well, I'm gonna still keep," So he just kept doing little digs. So, and it was caught live on TV, just like it was last year. So, kind of wanted to think y'all's thoughts and see if y'all think the Golden State Warriors are cooked this year.
No, they're the champions, right? They still the champions, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the easy. I did see when they did the when they was picking the teams for the All-Star game. Charles Barkley was drunk, so maybe he was drunk with Draymond too. He probably was drunk the whole weekend. No, they're not done. Steph Curry is hurt. That's their player. So when he come and he's hurt. So when he come back, no, heck no, they ain't cooked. They ain't cooked until you knock them off the mountain. They still on top of the mountain. They have a ring to show for it. Well, several rings. No, that's just Charles hating because he don't have a ring.
Right. So do you think, so who you got in the final? So now we're in the second half of the season. This is like I said, this is the time that I start watching the game. So who you have in the finals? Just like for you, Arkell also, who you have going to the finals? Tony D said the West is wide open. I said a Denver and Boston finals. What y'all think? So we'll start with you, Arkel.
Go ahead, Bob.
I got the Lakers in there winning it all. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Okay. Lakers who? The Ohio Lakers?
No, on the serious tip. No, I got Boston. It's a toss up between Boston and Milwaukee coming out the East. It just depends on if Milwaukee's going to be 100% in the healthy department, how that series going to go. But I think Boston probably squeak out the East. As far as the West go, man,
Oh no.
I would like to see the Clippers get in there, but I know somehow they'll drop the ball. So I'm gonna have to go with the old Denver Nuggets making it to the finals this year.
Yep, that's what I got. Yep. What about you, Bookie Troy?
Well, this depends on Phoenix, because we don't know when Kevin Durant is coming back. And if Kevin Durant comes back healthy, Phoenix is going to be a problem, a real big problem, because they got wing players that can hit any shot on the court. Kevin Durant on one side, Devin Booker on one side. You put Chris Paul at the top of the key. That's a problem for people guarding them, and it's a matchup problem. The only matchup problem that they're going to have is with Denver, because Ayton won't be able to stay with Jokic, because Jokic will destroy him.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick, since I don't know what's going on with Kevin Durant, I'm gonna have to pick Denver coming out of the West.
I know.
Who you got?
And I will never ever in my life pick Boston to come out the East. So I'll pick Milwaukee.
Okay. Yeah, most everybody has either Milwaukee or Boston coming out the East. And then they either, like I said, for me, I don't know if the Warriors got enough to come out the West. I don't know. Because they got too much drama going on in the locker room. I don't know. And you got the Pelicans. They're going to have to probably play them. So, I don't know. I'm going with Denver. That's why I'm going with Denver. I think they got enough to come out the West with all the new ones. So
what the significance of Steph Curry's injury is. So I'm not going to sleep on the champions.
Is experience. Like last year, people panicked in the finals when they went
just
down
come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then they came back and won it all. Like, weren't they down like 0-2 against Memphis? And they came back and won that series. Like, yeah, they got drama going on, but the postseason starts. I guarantee they'll put that aside and they'll give it all they got. So until they're out, until Golden State is out, they still the chance. So until somebody beats them and replaces them. So we shall see.
Okay. So kind of going back, what did you say, Troy?
I agree
You
with
agree?
Bob. I wouldn't sleep on the Clippers. The Clippers, I don't think they're gonna make it, but I wouldn't sleep on Memphis either. So you can't sleep on Memphis either right now. So
You know what though? One
It
thing
just
about
depends.
Memphis is going
said
to
what
have
it
to
depends?
humble themselves. Okay, what's up? Excuse me.
Okay.
what'd you say about
So
Memphis?
Memphis is going to have to humble themselves because they some little cocky little mother suckers, and y'all better hope this TV ain't broke or I'm breaking somebody.
We always gonna get some live wire when it comes to Lois Lane and her family.
Well, I just want to let you know.
As the lowest turn.
Yeah, I just want to let you know. I'm gonna put this on tape, and I'm gonna hold this in case if something do go awry, I can black.
What?
I hope ain't nothing wrong with the TV.
Somebody gonna get tore up.
Y'all okay?
Lord Jesus, we ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it. So while she getting settled, so Bookie Troy, we kind of do a recap on the NBA All-Star. Did you watch it? What was your All-Star weekend thoughts? Did Mac McClung revitalize the dunk contest? And what was your favorite part? Like, did you like the new format of the All-Star game itself? So share with us.
The All-Star game was not good all around. The actual game was not good. The best part of All-Star weekend, I would have to say, was probably the dunk contest because they had to bring somebody from the G League to play, to participate in a dunk contest who's actually a professional dunker. So that was good. Other than that, everything else was just really, really bad. It was not a good All-Star weekend at all.
So you didn't like the new format? So you didn't like the new format of them picking right there? Huh?
Man, it took like a daggone hour. It took an hour, a whole hour for them to pick them players. No. The best part of that part was because Charles Barkley was drunk.
Yeah,
no.
That was a part too. Like, I don't know who thought of that. Who thought that was gonna be cool to pick the players that day of the game? And it took forever, like, to do it. I think they were even awkward how they was even picking. It was almost like you on the school playground. Like that's the format they were trying to go with, but it didn't work. It's live TV. Where's the game at?
That was all the burn.
The concept was cool.
That was all the Burns idea.
The concept was cool, it just didn't work out.
That was the Burns idea. That was his brainchild. He put that together. That was his idea.
Wow. I can't believe that. I was just like, what is going on? Like, it took forever. For that game to get started.
He done ruined the Lakers and he ruined the All-Star game.
I just didn't understand it. Because they said, we got something fun, got something great. And I was like, it's a whole dang hour. Like, what are we doing? But I mean, I watched it, but I was just like, what'd you say?
And then they did all that, and the game was not good. The game was terrible. So no, this one was really, really bad. This is worse than the others. If y'all look at the ratings on this was 30-year lows. 30-year low ratings on the All-Star game.
Wow. Wow.
Well, blame LeBron. This was his idea.
But that's because don't nobody. First of all, it's in Utah. Don't nobody want to. Everybody, people don't want to be there. They need to do something different.
And it was cold. And it was cold in Utah last weekend. It was freezing. They said it was freezing. So I think where the NBA All-Star at next year. Let's see.
Alaska.
Indianapolis.
Oh, that's right. It sure is in Indianapolis.
It's in
Indianapolis.
Because the WNBA is going to be in Cleveland.
Won't be any better.
Not the WNBA, the March Madness for women.
They got to change up a lot of stuff.
So what do you think, Arkels? So what was your take on the All-Star weekend?
Well, there is nothing you can do as far as the All-Star weekend to make any changes. There's nothing you can do on that. Only thing you need to do is have that draft or whatever they do the night before, and everything else is just going to be what it is. That dunk competition needs to be, it either need to fall two ways. It either need to be every other year, or you need to up the ante and get more of the superstars involved and put more money on the table to get those guys involved in the dunk competition. I'm just saying, but that's the only way. It's either that or make the dunk competition every other year. And that needs to be, what you need to do is have it be wide open. G League, NBA. If a woman can dunk, let her
I
get in there
agree.
and dunk. Yeah, who cares?
There you go. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Now I like that.
Right
Now I
now-
like that.
Right now, my man, he's
What they
saved
need
it for
to
another
do-
year. Because if I'd have known he was in that dunk competition, I'd have put $100 on him on that online betting because I didn't pay it no attention. I didn't realize he was in it till he got announced. If I'd known he was in that, I'd have put $100 on him.
Yeah.
What they need to
Because
do is
when
they need
you-
to have a dunk. What they need
What'd
to
you say?
do is they need to have like a dunk. They need to have like a dunk tournament that leads up to the dunk contest
Ooh.
and pick the first four. You know, the four people in this tournament plus 3 NBA players, and whoever wins this tournament, or maybe two people from the tournament.
Right.
Whoever wins this tournament, the last 2 people winning the tournament, they get to be in a dunk contest, and they need to put like $5 million pot up. You know, to say like, look, you won the tournament, you get $5 million if you win the whole thing. That's what get people. That will get people up for it, because the old boy who won the dunk contest is a professional dunker. He signed like a 2-week contract.
It was a
with Philly
10-day
just to get
contract
in
with the
dunk contest.
76ers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
just to
all I
get in the
wanna know
dunk
is-
contest.
All I want to know is who is making these selections for this dunk competition, because that dude that I think he played for the Knicks that wasted time taping a daggone envelope up in the net. He needs to stay at home. That
Like, what?
they wasted an airline ticket on that dude, because he was just horrible. I mean,
Yeah.
horrible.
Jericho Sims.
Yeah.
Well, Jericho
Even how they score. So even how they were scoring the game, it's just been, I don't know. I mean, again, like Arkell said, when he sent me that first video on YouTube, I was like, why did we not know? Because no one even knew who he was. Because all over Twitter, everybody kept saying, who was Mac McClung? Who was Mac McClung? And if you had to be, like I said, like almost like a street baller, you knew who he was. But besides that, no one knew who he was. And he won the same amount of money he got signed for is the same amount of money he won in the contest. So really, you walked away with $200,000, $208,000 in a weekend event. You won.
Wow.
You got $108,000 to come on and sign with the 76ers for 2 weeks, and then you got $100,000 for winning the dunk contest.
It was in my face.
Now the thing is, for me, will he play after this?
He got to play now,
Right.
because everybody know who he is, and so people in Philly gonna be like, well, you got to put. First of all, he's a white guy. Second of all, they're going to want to see him in Philly playing on the team. So
Yeah.
they want to. Yeah, they're going to want to see him.
Look,
He paid himself a lot of money.
I don't know what the issue is with him as far as not making the league, because he should have been on the roster. That dude got game. The bum Lakers had him. They just let you know where their general manager status is in the toilet. And I can't think of the other second team he was with. They let him go as well. And that's when he went back down to the G League. The guy got game. I don't know if it's just he's not comfortable being a true point guard. I don't know what it is, but he can play. I don't care.
He
Nobody
ain't
that dude can play.
that big though, Bob. He like 6 foot, 6'2". So
I'll take him coming off the bench. I'll take him on my second unit. I'll take him all day coming off the bench in my second unit. More than half.
he was
of
the
the
G League.
more than-
He was a G League Player of the Year.
Hello, but I'll take him with my second unit. He's better than half the raggedy talent in the league right now. The NBA stinks, in my opinion, as far as talent.
Right now, the ratings are
It
terrible.
stinks.
Yeah, because right now, I mean, on Wednesday, he played back in the G League. He was back playing for the G League. And they said the tickets have soared since he won. Like the G League tickets have have soared because of him.
I bet they went.
Yeah. They said the tickets went from like $11 to $64. And he's right in Wilmington, Delaware. So I was like, yeah. So he played for the Blue Coats is what he played on Wednesday. So he played to a sellout crowd.
Mm.
So we gonna see. So okay, so we're gonna keep on moving on. So this is a question that has been kind of floating around, and you might, if y'all have y'all's computers and laptops and things out. The question was, it was on one of the radio shows that me and Arkels have heard this week. What is the most unbreakable record in sports?
Wow. Whatever Tom Brady got.
What is the most unbreakable, what is the most unbreakable record? That's what it was. The question was asked.
Well, right now, I hate to say this, is most unbreakable record, in my opinion, is in the golf world with Jack Nicklaus. I thought Tiger Woods was going to destroy that record when he was on pace, but Tiger blew it. And I don't think right now, I don't think he's ever going. He's right there. He's 3 behind. I think he's 3 or 4 behind the mark. I think it's like 18 major. But the condition he's in right now, I don't think he's going to reach it. And that's a record I don't think is never going to be broken by, at least not in our lifetime.
Okay. What about you, Bookie Troy? Any sport?
Probably that Tom Brady passing record.
Okay.
I think he's got over like 50,000 yards. And he sent it out of. Now I don't think nobody's gonna break that record.
Okay. What about you?
I don't think anybody's gonna break his championships either.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
The only person that's gonna come close is Patty Jordan, and I don't think he's gonna make it.
Okay.
It's hard to win them Super Bowls, man. That's it's hard.
It's hard to get
especially
back.
when you come off the back to back.
Yeah.
Patty Jordan been to the conference championship 5 times. Took on the Super Bowl 2 times. It's hard. It's hard. I don't think anybody's gonna break that championship. That Super Bowl record for Tom Brady. There's no way. No way. Not unless. I mean, because everybody, the teams are different now. So I think that it's just harder to win it.
Yeah.
Patty Jordan. If anybody will break it, I'm gonna give it to Patty Jordan.
Okay. All right, Lois. What is the most unbreakable record in sports? What do you think?
How many straight championships did Bill Russell have? Was it like 8 or something?
11.
11 straight?
Not straight.
Not straight, but he had 11. He got 11 rings.
No, I know he had 11, but how many did he have in a row?
5.
5?
Yeah, those 2 records ain't gonna get broken. So those 2 records. Ain't nobody winning no 5 championships in this little soft bunny rabbit league. It's right now I'm going on the NBA. So those 11 and that 5 is quite safe.
I do have an honorable mention
Okay.
for a record. If you want to call this a record, I would say the Heisman. Archie got 2. Nobody else.
Yeah.
Right.
2.
Nobody else has ever gotten 2. Yeah.
Right.
But
put Troy on mute. Jesus Christ, put him on mute.
But
put him on mute.
Man, let me talk, Jim Harbaugh.
No, that's
Maria, come on, say hi.
Archie. I don't care if it was Tony Dorsett who got 2. Archie got 2. It don't matter who got 2. Archie has 2 Heisman.
No. I'm doing my show.
Caleb Williams has 1 Heisman. Caleb Williams is coming back next year. So
You think he can get it again?
he lost his top wide receiver, Addison, to the NFL. He still has Jerry Rice's son there, and he still has a couple other good wide receivers coming in. If anybody could tie him, it would be Caleb Williams.
Okay.
He won't
Who do
get
you
it.
think? I mean, who else is in contention for Heisman besides him? He'll be the best.
Because it's gonna be a whole that Heisman is a wide open.
Wolverines is in contention.
What?
And he should have got it last year if he didn't get hurt. He would have got
the
it if he
running
didn't
back?
get hurt. Yep, he would have got it.
Well,
if he
yeah,
didn't
but
get hurt.
it doesn't matter. He didn't get it, so he's still
I'm
behind.
just saying.
He's
But
still
You said who was in contention, and I said he is in contention.
He's not in contention. We talk about contention to tie records and break records.
Well,
and there won't be no Wolverine.
There'll be no double dip next year. I promise you that. He won't double dip next year.
Archie has the only 2-time Heisman record.
Drew,
I'm thinking Caleb Williams might have a chance to either to tie him because it won't be a break. That means somebody had to win 3, and that ain't gonna ever happen.
No, that ain't gonna never happen.
And it's probably going to ever happen with him winning. I mean, they're probably going to not let that record go down. But I would have to say that anybody is close enough besides Tim Tebow that got a chance to win it 2 times, that'll be Caleb Williams this year since he's coming back.
Yeah, I can see. We're going to see how he gonna play because again, he just didn't play well at the very end. But we already know Archie Griffin.
No, he didn't play good at the end, but it didn't matter by then because he had already won a trophy.
Yeah, he already won the trophy. But yeah, Archie Griffin, 2-time. And for me, I had consecutive starts in a football game. I had Brett Favre. Right now, it's still Eli Manning. So I'm trying, when it comes to like consecutive starts, I don't know if nobody can ever break his record because he has 321 consecutive starts. So who would you think could be in contention because he's not missed a game? Even through all the craziness, he still has not missed a game at all. So that's who I had as, if an unbreakable record was to happen, because then you have Tom Brady and he's still playing. And so is, so with Brett Favre out, it's like, who would be able to take his record? So that's who I had.
How many consecutive starts does Tom Brady have?
You know what? I'm a father. Brady.
He would be the only one closest.
Yeah. Consecutive starts.
He didn't miss a lot of games.
255 consecutive starts. So he close. And then Drew Brees, as of 2021, had 304.
What active player is on that list?
On that active list right now, it says that Tom Brady. It says that Tom Brady.
You said Drew Brees had how many starts?
355. Huh? Drew Brees. He had 305. Drew Brees had 304.
And he broke it because
yeah.
Okay, Drew Brees has the record.
So Drew Brees is 304. So yeah. So I think Brett Favre is like him working there, and that was Drew Brees. So do you think anybody else can break that record?
Who has the
active? Tom Brady is at 255.
Tom Brady is not playing anymore.
So he's not playing no more. So who would be the consecutive? So that's what I'm saying. Who would be who would be next in line? Who would be next?
You would have to tell me who has the active streak right now.
Okay.
That's
so I have to pull that right now. So consecutive starts right now. 2022. I'm gonna put football. Okay. So the all-time leader they have in NFL history okay, so they still have is Brett Favre, Jim Marshall, but these are like, it doesn't really share with you like the current. I'll probably have to go. Okay, here we are. Tom Brady 333, Matt Ryan 234, Aaron Rodgers
Nope.
223, and
It would have to be Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers 223.
And we don't even know who he playing. We don't even know who he playing for next year.
Right.
Right.
He just came out of a dark closet.
Yeah, that's a
He
whole
don't know
nother.
who he playing for.
He going back to Green Bay. He'll be a dummy to pass up that 58 million.
I told y'all that like 6 podcasts ago, but we still talking about him for some reason.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because he makes news. But you think he gonna go back for
Because
Kels?
he went in a dark closet to meditate.
Look, he's a little limelight lover. He'll be a fool to pass up that 58 million. He's just a drama queen and a nitwit.
I agree with Bob.
And if I was Green Bay, I would trade him and get mass picks and whatever else I could pluck off the tree. Green Bay's a fool or even make for slow dancing with him. I would shove him to the left right out the door and go find me a new dance partner.
And y'all forget who the oldest quarterback in the league is. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
39.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would kick him to the curb.
Jordan Love been sitting behind him for almost 4 years now. And we already know that he can actually play a little bit. Let him play.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers not leaving. He another one. He is not leaving. I know Giannis just left the game with a. So they got breaking news.
Like Bob said, Green Bay would literally just have to like trade. But hold on, doesn't he have like a no trade clause in his contract?
No, he does not.
What?
Oh, he doesn't?
No, he does not.
Yeah. They doing too much. Like it's like they too afraid to see how things would be without him because they don't want to have egg on their face. I mean, they made a decision for the future of the organization, and now y'all basically letting this man run y'all. Like, I'm with Bob. Ship him off. Let him be somebody else's problem. Let him be somebody else's headache.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'd rather happen sooner than later. So you can go ahead and get you somebody in there now, get the rust off of him, and work it. You wait till later, then that's gonna be a bigger boulder on your back.
But we still talking about him.
Thought they would have learned after Brett Favre, but I guess not.
Well, I know it's breaking news right now. Giannis exits the game with a knee injury. So how you think that's going to impact Milwaukee?
I didn't think Giannis even played today. He still played?
Yeah. He just exited the game with a knee injury.
I'm surprised he played because he had a wrist injury.
Right.
It's called pride, Troy. It's called pride. You see, Laverne was out there with his little swollen knuckles trying to do something. So it's called pride.
Sit down. He shouldn't have been playing. He didn't play in the All-Star game. Just let him sit. He got a wrist injury.
Yeah.
Well, he got a knee injury now.
He suffered an injury to his right knee in the first quarter and will not return to the Bucks game against the Heat on Friday. He was just 6 minutes into the game when he got knocked, when his knees knocked with a Heat player. So he went to the straight to the locker room, finishing with 4 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds.
Well,
and again, he just missed, like you said, Boogie Troy, he just missed 11 games with an injury to his knee, and then he had to hit the hardwood with his wrist. Yeah.
I don't know why they're playing so hard with him. They're in first place or second place behind Boston. It's not that big a deal.
Right.
Let him sit. Now they might be in trouble.
Yeah. Because if he can't come back from that knee injury, Milwaukee won't have a chance. They need Giannis. They got to have him to play. And that was just 30 minutes ago. Like,
oh my God.
And that's what I said. When it came up, like, I thought he didn't play. He didn't play in the All-Star game. So why are you playing now? It don't make sense to me. But
once again, that's letting the inmates run the asylum. So that's on your coach.
Yeah, he should have been on the sidelines like he was at the All-Star game. He shouldn't have been playing like you say in first place. Why are you not playing? And for a couple of weeks, you not should be playing till like mid-March. Your team can carry you. You on the sideline. Now you don't know what's gonna happen now. All right. So we're gonna turn to our site. I know. Huh?
I know this really might not matter. No, I was just looking. While I was looking that up, I'm looking at the scores for the night in the NBA, and I had to literally click on it to make sure my computer didn't have a glitch. Right now, the
Cavs are getting their butt beat.
Blown. The not only the Cavs, Brooklyn Nets are getting blown the heck out, like 86 to 44. The Chicago Bulls.
The Nets are under reconstruction right now.
Right. Beat by Chicago. By the Bulls, 87.
That's a problem because Chicago stinks.
The Nets are in reconstruction mode. They flushed the toilet, fooling around with two nitwits.
Nah, I don't agree with you, Bob. I don't agree with you because the Nets are loaded. After them trades, the Nets are loaded right now.
So as you, unfortunately, as they always say, we got to have time to jail. Dude, you've been playing basketball for God knows how long. I don't buy that one lick. Get out there and ball, get your hand out your pockets and put your damn ball in the bucket. It ain't that hard.
Right. Yeah, I hate that too, Arkel, when they say we're gelling. You're NBA player with millions of dollars. Who got time to jail when I'm slapping you with 5.5 million? You got money on the tape. What? Your paycheck is saying 5 million per pay. Ain't talking about we got to jail. Like, no, you should be able to ball. Like, what? Yeah, I'm looking at the scores too, Lois. Like these scores. Woo.
Yeah,
like that's what I'm saying. Why is the
Bridges is the leading scorer for the night with 13 for the Nets? Bridges.
That's horrible.
And for Chicago, Levine has 32. Like, this is crazy. I had to make sure my eyes weren't playing tricks on me with that one. They're playing.
Are they playing in Chicago? They playing in Chicago?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is 90 to 46. Like who is playing on the Brooklyn Nets? Like who's playing? Who was on the team? I need to turn this game on just so I can see. Like, oh my God.
What was the final score of the Cavs game, Lois?
The Cavs are still playing at 123.
Yeah, there's 123 to 103. It's about 4.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
But Troy, after we talked, but Bookie Troy, we said that a month ago. You were saying like how the scoring is so high. Like why? Like why is that? Like I'm asking that question again. Like why is the scoring so high?
Nobody play defense.
No defense.
Nobody don't play defense now.
Because I'm just like
they want to make it. They want to make it. Exciting for the fans to come out and watch. Because they got to do something. Because as much as they rest players, and people pay their hard-earned money to come see these players play, and then they rest, the players that do play, you got to put on a show. So that means they're not playing any defense at all.
Right? Yeah. Because even though Giannis went down, Milwaukee is up on Miami right now, like 124 to 89.
That's why I'm like, why did you play? Like, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't understand why you play. Like, why did you play Giannis? Like, why did he play?
Well, this is the dog days of the NBA right now. The playoffs start in two months. They ain't thinking about playing hard right now.
No, they still in there playing.
Again, the All-Star ratings is at a 30-year low. The NBA ratings altogether is at a 20-year low.
Because the league is trash.
And why you think is that? Since we're gonna go off the grid, like why you think the NBA is while other sports are ramping up in there, getting like the college level people, you still selling out. Why you think the NBA is at an all-time low?
Okay, I'll tell you why. I'm gonna give you an example right now. So, and this has happened before because me and Bob, we've been up to a Cavs game. So if me and Bob go up to a Cavs game to see the Lakers versus the Cavs, and we get to the game, and we don't know that LeBron and Anthony Davis is going to sit out, and say that, oh, okay, so Anthony Davis and LeBron's going to sit out, so the Cavs might sit Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. So we just sitting there paying $150 each to watch the backup team play. You know what I mean?
Right.
People ain't gonna come
Yeah.
watch that. People gonna be kind of pissed because you pay all that money to go see the stars, because the NBA is a star-driven league, not like football. The NBA is 1,000% star-driven. You want to see the best
Right.
players. You want to see LeBron play. You want to see Anthony Davis play. You want to see Darius Garland play. You want to see Donovan Mitchell play. But if we pay $150 each and $150 at the Cavs game, we ain't got the greatest seats.
Mhm.
And that's why
That's going to be a problem. Would that make you want to go back to an NBA game?
There's one resolution
Would that
on
make
how
you
to
want to watch an
Well,
NBA game?
Right.
and you're right.
I
And
have
you
no-
dude, because you don't know if they're sitting out until you get to the game.
Look,
Right.
Sometimes you know sometimes
Well,
you know
you know what?
beforehand, but it doesn't matter
If you bought
because you
tickets.
still bought them tickets.
Yeah.
So
Now, I'll
unless
take
you're
it
gonna
a
get
step
there
further.
and scout the
Okay.
tickets and go to the bar afterwards to try to get your money back, you kind of at a loss. So that means me and Bob got to sit there in the rafters changing light bulbs, coming from Columbus, wanted to see the stars and not see the stars.
mhm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Well,
It didn't used to
there's
be
a-
like that back in the day.
There's an easy fix to that
No.
situation. First of all, the commissioner need to stop all this load management crap and throw that out the window
Did I
and
not say
start
that
taking,
earlier, Tanya?
and start taking these owners and these coaches, make them be the fall guys in this. If you got a player that's hurt and pretending he hurt, you need to send some type of NBA officials in there, doctors, to examine that dude. They need to be on site for each game. I know what you're saying, but something need to be done. And if the guy refuses to play, even if you had an evaluation saying he can't play, then you need to start tapping that pocketbook. If you don't want to play, you're gonna give him some cash.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
That's where they need to go. You're gonna
Start
give, you don't
taking
want to play,
that
you gonna give them cash.
So
Yeah.
so Bob,
Yeah.
so Bob and Lois, that's all great and gravy, but the NBA association
Ain't gonna
agreed
go
to the
for that.
contract.
Yeah.
They already agreed to the contract that they can have load management. This is why we
See?
have load
Well, see, well,
management, because
that's
it's in the
what they-
contract.
Well, that's they fuck up.
So
Well,
the contract is set
well, all I got to
every
say
5
is this.
years.
Well,
that-
when the
that-
next one
what-
comes up, I hope these players have some money set aside, because I do see the owners pushing back on the next agreement, on the next
See,
negotiation.
yeah.
With everything that is
I'm
going
sure
on,
they will.
they are going to push back. And
See, that's-
you know what? The players, I hope the players are ready
See, that's
to
the
be
problem.
able to provide and not.
See, that's the problem. The league and these owners are all soft as cotton. If I'm gonna be a owner of a team, I'm gonna be like Red off of with the 5 Heartbeat. I'm gonna have your ass outside the motherfucking window. 'Cause we got the problem. I'm gonna be Red. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be Red. I'm gonna be Suge Knight. Cause y'all gonna be out on that court. Hook, crook, or crook. We gonna have some problems. Cause that's the problem. Y'all letting all them nitwits say this, say that. Y'all just agreeing to it. That's the whole problem with the NBA.
Right.
Everything is soft as
Bob,
cotton.
I agree with you. Bob, I agree with you. I agree
If I
with
was
you.
a
I
owner,
feel ever since
talking crazy.
that lockout season, I feel ever since that season in the late 90s when they had the lockout, when the Spurs won that year, I feel ever since then, every CBA agreement, I feel like the owners were afraid to go through that again. So they haven't really pushed back.
Oh well, I'm telling you, if I was the owner,
I mean, at the end of the day, if at the end of the day, these owners shouldn't be afraid to push back. This is like a drop in the bucket. This ain't even their main source of income.
Right. I just.
At the
But
end
what's
of the
the?
day,
I can't think. I'm trying to look up the NBA player that said, "I play every night." What is his name?
Timberwolves. He plays the young buck
Anthony
for the
Edwards.
Timberwolves.
Anthony
Yeah.
Edwards.
And he said it. Anthony, when he said it, like, I come to play. Like,
Yeah.
and Troy said it. What he said, people play money. People save money to come to maybe one
Yep.
NBA game to see their favorite players sit out. Like, I don't even know when it began, when it was allowing players to sit out. Like, I knew LeBron did a lot of that. No matter what team he's on, he's always sat out. And I'm just like, you ain't never see Shaq sit out. You never saw Kobe sit out unless they were hurt. And even if they were hurt, them boys were still playing. Like, when did that become a part of the league? When you sit out,
Isaiah
not
When they
just
signed
one
that
game.
contract.
with a broken foot.
Like, what? Like, when did that
Isaiah
become
Thomas played
real?
with a broken foot. Michael Jordan played with 100-degree temperature. I don't want to hear nothing from these softies for today. But also,
Exactly.
I'm going to throw another aspect into it. When you look at the league today, you have a bunch of one and dones from college. I feel college, okay, yeah, everybody's trying to get their money because they're trying to get their family out of the hood or whatever. But I feel what college does do is, especially for those blue blood schools, if you go to one of those big schools, because 9 times out of 10, you end up in the conference tournament and then you end up in the NCAA tournament. I feel what 2-3 years in college does for you is it builds up your body for that type of endurance of a season.
Right. Season.
You do 1 year of college and then you jump to the league. I mean, you going up against grown men
Who's paying money for their body.
Right. And then you look at these players, they come in as rookies, Zion Williamson and others.
Right.
And, you know, you don't take it seriously and you end up with these injuries and you don't end up playing. It's because your body isn't conditioned for it.
Right.
Like, stop trying to appease these boys. 2 years minimum of college is what I would do. 2 years.
Shoot, I'd say 3. You need to do 3 years.
You know what? You know what? Take your behind overseas and play for a couple years. And then when you 2021, then come back. That's fine. If you don't want to go to school or go to college and get your body truly ready.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these one and dones could have benefited from another year or two. And I'll even say, I don't care. Great. He won a championship as a freshman. I feel Carmelo Anthony could have benefited from at least another year in college. All these one and dones. You have your rare exceptions for one and dones or straight out of high school where it worked out.
Well, the only one and done that was straight out of high school that has done well was Kobe and LeBron.
Well, they're straight out of high school. They weren't one and done.
That's what I'm saying. They're about the only two that I know. Because like Zion Williamson, he was a straight bust. You came straight out of college and you was a straight bust. You ain't played right since.
Like that's my thing.
Yeah. That sitting out, that just drives me literally insane.
It's become a yes ma'am type atmosphere. Like they're afraid to give a true, honest, hard critique. These players today are soft as hell. They're soft as hell. Because they ain't really had nobody truly humble them at an early age to really make them work for and earn it. They see people see flashes. Oh, you can be the next Michael Jordan. You can be the next LeBron. You can be the next Kobe. You can be the next Tom Brady. And then people just tell them what they want to hear.
And they ain't worth nothing.
Man,
Absolutely
listen.
nothing. Absolutely nothing. Well, we're going to keep the train rolling. All right, what you got to say, Boogie Troy? So we all in agreement that the sitting out needs to go.
It's not gonna go anywhere until they change the contract. It's not gonna go, and there's not gonna be any. There's gonna continue to be one and done's until they change the contract.
And that's
It
just
has
so crazy because that's
there's
why I
nothing
stopped
you can
watching
do about it.
NBA. That is just why I stopped watching NBA because I'll be ready to watch my team, and then they be on the sidelines. Like, who was on the sideline for the whole game? You dressed, but you not playing. Like, what?
Right.
And you want me to stay up late and watch this game? And like you said, go to a game. You don't even see that on NFL. Your major player, NFL players is not sitting out. What? We're not doing that.
Listen, my dream is to go to the Staples Center. I'm sorry, the Crypto Center now, and sit front row to see the Lakers play whoever. It's going to cost me at least $10,000 per seat.
Jesus.
So, I check all the time. It's going to cost me at least 10 grand per person to go to the center to see LeBron, Anthony Davis, maybe play. So it's a crapshoot. You know, say if Boston come to the Crypto Center and Jason Tatum don't play and LeBron don't play, and say me and Bob spent all our 10 grand to go sit in the front row, which would never happen, to see them play. You think that I wouldn't ban the NBA at that point? You think that they would lose a customer? That's why the ratings are down. You want to lose a customer if I put up I'm just giving that example. That's because that's one of the most. Or I'll even put Madison Square Garden. Just imagine all the celebrities that got tickets there. They can afford to lose that money, but the average Joe, like me and Bob, who might be able to get in a ticket for $3,000 near the front, and $3,000 in Madison Square Garden, you still sitting far back.
Yeah. No, sir.
So just imagine if the Lakers is there and the Knicks is there. I don't want to see nobody on the Knicks. I want to see somebody from the Lakers. That's my team. And there's usually when they come to Madison Square Garden, they play. But maybe they won't. You just don't know, because right now it's a crapshoot. And that's because they signed that deal for load management where the players won't get in trouble. And it's only expanding their careers. They don't care about the customers. They just want to get to that next contract.
That's great. Yeah, and that's why I'll be because I feel you too, Bookie Troy. I'll be looking at the tickets for the Dallas Cowboys game, even though I know I want to sit right on the 50-yard line, first seat, and them tickets is $5K all day, even for a team that's got a 0-1 record. If you go into Arlington Stadium, you gonna pay $200 a park, and then $20 cup of drink, and then you gonna get your seat for $5K all day. So yeah, I keep saying that's one of my bucket lists is all day. So kind of want to keep going with the switching with the NFL. Do you think? Because again, these are just questions that I've been hearing on sports radio, and just was like, what do you think the NFL is getting soft with their concussion protocol? So we're kind of switching gears to the NFL before we roll back to women basketball roundup. So do you think the concussion, like everything that happened this year, do you think the controversy and policy change is happening, or is just going to still remain the same? We'll start with you, Lois Lane.
You know what? I would like to say that something's going to change, but unfortunately, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I really don't. Like, I think it would take the NFL to hit a team hard, whether it's a hefty fine or they take away draft picks or you automatically can't go to the postseason or something. I feel the league would have to do something drastic for the teams to get the hint that, look, y'all need to, really take this seriously and if you can tell the player don't need to be back in there, even if they pass protocol or they begging you, then don't put them back in. Like with, what was that? That was that playoff game with Patrick Mahomes. Ultimately, he ended up going back in the game, but I love the exchange on the sideline between him and Andy Reid when he was trying to get back in the game, and Andy Reid was like, "No, you go in the locker room and get yourself checked out." You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But it's unfortunate because it's the world of sports, especially with coaching jobs, it's become such a microwave type atmosphere that if you don't win now, you're out of there. And I do believe that is what partly goes into these decisions. These coaches know if they fail, they're gone. So you're trying to win at all costs. And for players, your contract is your livelihood, it's your money, it's how you provide for your family. So if you can't be out there, somebody else can take that spot. I mean, the San Francisco 49ers is the perfect example. I was listening to a show today while I was at work, and, they were talking about the 49ers. Oh, what are they going to do with their quarterback situation? Well, Brock Purdy has shown that he can handle it. I think he needs to be the starter next season. And he was the last pick in the draft taken. I would see what you could get for Trey. Like, everybody has already written off Trey Lance, So I think it'll take something drastic for them to really buckle down, because there is, especially in football, when you think about it, somebody goes down, next man up mentality. Look at Dallas when Dak went down. In came Cooper Rush. He kept the boat afloat,
Right.
And so folks started, even Jerry, quarterback controversy. People like to ruffle the feathers, but I'd like to say something would change, especially after what happened with DeMar Hamlin, but I don't think it will. I really don't.
What about you, RKL?
Oh, really, really, really. Throw it out the window, and there's only one penalty that needs to be called in the NFL if you're leading with your helmet. Outside of that, it's an animals game. Let the animals hit each other till they knock their brains out their earlobe. And far as the league with this soft stuff, get rid of it. I mean, football is football. And if these dudes been playing it all their lives, this is what they want. And if you decide you can't, you fear of, was the CTC, whatever the hell it's called, then stop playing. Other than that, there's only one rule that need to be put on the football field. It's leading with your helmet. If you lead with your helmet, then you get what you get. Outside of that, let them kill each other.
Okay. All right. What about you, Bookie Troy? What's your thoughts?
I agree with Bob. They know what they signed up for. They know what they get them checks for.
Yep.
There's only three things that's going to change concussion. Patty Jordan get hurt and out for the year. Aaron Rodgers get hurt, out for the year. And I even say Dak Prescott, because he's on America's team, get out for the year on concussion. If all three of them in the same year get concussion protocols, then they will change it. Other than that, they will not.
Even what just happened with the goddamn
Tua?
No, we already know Tua was a debacle, but this what even happened with DeMar, like the changes. Because right now, since 2019, there was 224 diagnosed concussions. That was back in 2019. I know it was more this year.
Hamlin wasn't a concussion issue. His was a respiratory issue, obviously. He got hit in the wrong place.
That was a legal hit. He got hit in the shoulder.
Yeah,
and Higgins floored him like a Mack truck, like you're supposed to do in football. That's part of the game. Other than that, everything need to be legal. Just keep the spearing under control, and that's all need to be done. If you can't handle that,
if you leave with your helmet,
and shut up.
If you leave with your helmet, like Bob said, penalty. You're not gonna put
Yeah.
flags on everybody. What you want to play flag football? It's called football for a reason.
And we already see how that worked.
You know what you signed up for. They just gotta hope nobody dies on the field. I don't want to sound crass, but that's just the truth. They just gotta hope that a player actually. They almost had one die.
They almost had one.
But
But
they
it was
gotta
a
just
legal
hope that
hit.
no one
It was a legal
actually
hit.
dies on the field.
A legal hit.
Okay.
And it wasn't even
But yeah, I'm with
really
you,
a hit. It
Troy.
was a football play.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Right,
but Higgins came up and stuck his shoulder in his chest, and he came up
Yeah.
soft as cotton. Instead of coming in, leading with your shoulder and hitting him, he came in soft as cotton with his chest wide open and got blasted. He got a little fragile rib cage. That's his fault.
I ain't going that
Like
far.
dang, RKO.
I ain't going that far, but
I'm going that far.
I agree with Bob. It was a football play. I ain't saying who's soft and who ain't. I just think it was a
He
football
came
play.
up-
So Bob
he
is
came
right.
up with
And he just happened to be in the
something.
wrong place at the wrong time. It just happened. It can happen in the NBA. It can happen in the NFL. It can happen in hockey. It can happen in tennis. You just don't know. You can't change
Right.
all these rules and make it non-football when it's called football. Now that you're gonna put flags on everybody, this is going to keep on happening.
Watch that play again with that dude in slow motion. He was not coming up to make an aggressive tackle. That's why he got floored in the chest. Plain
Yeah,
and simple.
he wanted to make a highlight hit. He tried to make a
Pure and
highlight hit.
simple. He was trying to tackle with his arms instead of running through him like you coached in Pee Wee. Pure and simple. That's why he got
But they
trucked.
do that every play in the NFL, every game.
That's why he got trucked.
He just happened to have it. His heart just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
Yeah,
We're gonna stay on this NFL. Where do you think Lamar Jackson is going next year? Because he's not gonna be a Raven.
he gave the franchise tag. Are you kidding?
You what?
Yeah, he's gonna be in Baltimore because they're gonna franchise
The
tag.
franchise tag. Are you kidding? He ain't going nowhere.
But he ain't necessarily got to play though. Like even if they franchise tag him,
Right.
Well, that'll be okay with them. I'm gonna take the money right back from you. Sit on the bench if you want to.
You know, the average franchise tag is $15 million.
Sit on the bench if you want to. We'll deduct your wallet. Soon as we put it in, we taking it
The
right back
franchise
out.
tag,
So the
you gotta
franchise tag,
play.
but can't somebody else come through the door and pick him up when you get? Because I thought franchise tag, it means you can't play with nobody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, they could come and before he signs that contract for a franchise tag, yeah. The only team that I see might be doing that would be Miami, which they ain't gonna do.
What about the Steelers? You don't see him going to the Steelers?
Hell no. He's from Miami. He wants to go back to Miami.
Okay.
Go to
That's
Tampa.
been because that's been the hot topic is that Lamar because he ain't going back. He ain't trying to go back to the Ravens, but they've been throwing that franchise tag out there, and I'm like,
Well, we've had this conversation
one
before.
more season. I promise you.
We've had this conversation before about Lamar Jackson.
right,
And I said this about 8 podcasts ago. This is what I said. Deshaun Watson got $34 million guaranteed, something crazy
230.
like that.
230.
Whatever contract that Deshaun Watson got, you just changed the name and put Lamar Jackson,
And add another 30 or 40 million with it.
and you got him.
Add another
The
30
Ravens
or
don't
40
wanna do
million
that.
with it. You got to add another 30 to 40 with it.
The
So
Ravens
you're
don't want to
looking at a
do that.
contract of
No.
about between $260 and $280 million.
How you going to
but
give
you
a
know what? I
he
think
won the
I
he
believe
won the MVP. He took them to
right.
the
I
playoffs.
believe they showed everybody that they really didn't want to lock him down when they didn't do it at the first opportunity before
Right.
his contract expired. Like, why would you wait until the complete end of this contract? But then again, yes, okay, yes, he's been hurt the last 4 or 5 games of the last couple seasons. But you know what? That's not all on him. Y'all have drafted poorly. Y'all haven't gotten him any help offensively, so everything falls on him. Like, what is he supposed to do? Sit back and continue to pass and try to make something out of the people that he has so everybody can continue to criticize his passing ability, and that be a reason why they don't give him a contract extension? I mean, come on. And at the end of the day, though, they are like far worse when he is not on the field compared to when he is. So I feel Baltimore brought this on themselves. If you would have redone this contract, if you would have done his extension when it was first available, you wouldn't be in this situation.
No, well, Baltimore is in that situation because Cleveland signed a bad contract.
No. Okay, you know what? No, I'm sorry. That's not his problem. And this was done a season ago. How long ago could they have done this? They could have done this 2 seasons ago. They could have extended this man's contract before the Deshaun Watson contract. So I don't want to hear nothing from nobody talking about it's Cleveland's fault. No, Baltimore dropped the ball. They didn't lock him down when they should have. Period, point blank. And so now, yes, Deshaun Watson has that contract. Lamar Jackson knows his worth. And Lamar Jackson is also looking at them like, well, your dad sure ain't that good when I'm not on the field. And I don't have these off the field issues. I feel this is what I'm worth. Add another 5, 10, 20 mil to it. That's what I want. So everybody needs to stop trying to blame Cleveland and Deshaun Watson. Baltimore dropped the ball. They waited too long. Period, point blank.
They're not going to pay him that money if he's still under contract. He was still under contract. He's a free agent now. Back then, he was still under contract, so they're not going to give him any more money.
Right.
They don't think he's proven. But Cleveland just came in and gave him Deshaun Watson that awful contract, and now that's a template that actually helps out Lamar Jackson. It helps him.
Because now he can ask for that money.
He can ask for that money.
Baltimore could have extended his contract before the Deshaun Watson contract. Everybody's just using the Deshaun Watson contract as an excuse. At the end of the day, this man is in the last year of his deal, of his first contract, which is what, 5 years? Deshaun Watson just got that contract a season ago. You could have extended Lamar Jackson's contract 2 seasons ago, and Baltimore wouldn't be dealing with this.
But they gonna be dealing with it because he ain't trying to come back unless he put that franchise tag. And I don't really know about that franchise tag. I just know it gets shifted around, and that kind of goes to like Ezekiel Elliott, like what's happening in the Cowboys. They try to let him go. It's like, it just
franchise tag mean that one player can get paid, and he is he can't leave the team.
Ooh.
It's a free agent player that gets paid. It ain't gonna be Ezekiel Elliott.
Well, I know that. No. Well, yeah, his doom is almost there. Like, I don't know if he gonna stay, but I don't know. Lamar Jackson, he don't want to stay. He because I've been hearing like reports he want to go to Miami, but I also been hearing about him going to the Steelers also, which I don't know.
Franchise tag, he has no choice.
So if they put a franchise tag, they put a franchise tag on, they don't have no choice. Ooh.
Actually, no. There's 2 different types of franchise tags. I just Googled it. There's exclusive and there's non-exclusive. And I think the one that Baltimore would do with Lamar this year would be non-exclusive. Now, if they do non-exclusive, then that allows Lamar to negotiate a deal with another team. So it all depends on what type of franchise tag they do. If they do exclusive, then he's locked in. If they do non-exclusive, then he has the ability to try to go somewhere else.
All right. Well, we're going to keep watching it like we always do, and we're going to have some more heated conversation as the time draws near. But Arkell, this is a little subject for you. PGA Tour golfer Max Homa just rose in the official world golf rankings, and he went from 17th to 8th. But he said the sport of golf is not a sport. What's your take, Arkels? Because you are a golfer in the mix. You and Bookie Troy.
Well, I got to hear his definition on why it's not a sport. I don't know what he's talking about for that comment. If I, once again, call me Red of the golf world, I'm yanking your golf cart. You can go find a public course and start playing since it's not a sport. How about that, buddy? So tread water there. So I don't know what the hell he talking about. Shoot, you walking 18 holes. Shoot, that's a battle. I don't care who do it. Hey, I done it in my younger days. I wouldn't walk 18 holes right now. Ain't no way. Because, like I said, them dudes get paid some major cheese out there. So I don't know what they do. I don't know what he on or who he trying to impress. But like I said, if I was any type of dude that has some clout, call me Red, because I'm gonna pull your card and you go play on the public course then, buddy, and enjoy yourself.
What about you?
That's stupid what he just said.
Yeah, Bookie Troy, because that's like a hot topic in the golf world.
Well, I'm gonna have to look that up because I want to know his reasoning behind that.
Yeah.
Well, I consider myself an athlete, and I've been out there on that golf course. Bob can attest. I was humbled. I thought that I could just go out there and just swing the club and not know what the hell I'm doing and be okay. I ain't been back since. So it is 1,000% a sport. So I don't know what the hell he talking about.
And it was crazy because it was his first ever appearance on the Pardon My Take. And that's when he was like, they asked the question, the topic of conversation was golf or sports? And I feel y'all, because I was on the golf course last year with the Walk in My Blessing with my cousin Vez. And me and Meredith was in the golf cart. And I swear, by the time I got, because we had to put the signs out on all 18 holes, by the time I got back, they was like, "Hey, you going back?" No, I went 1 through 6. That was it. Even in the cart, you still, because you're on the terrain, you got to get in and out of the cart. My back and my legs was hurting. And I wasn't even swinging the golf cart. It was just me driving the cart, going through the 18 holes, putting the signs out, getting back in. I was like, who is walking that? When I think about Tiger Woods, because that kind of goes to like the question now, like, will he win another major? But when I think about Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, all these major players walking 18 holes in hot heat, rainy season, like, that is a beast. Like, that is a beast. Like you said, your body. So when he says, because he said it was not as grueling as NFL. So I'm gonna put it in here in our group chat so y'all can hear his conversation. But what he was saying was that it's not grueling like NFL or a longer season like in an NBA. So I kind of wanted to get y'all's take on it because I know y'all some avid lovers of golf. And I was like, he's talking about it's a feel-good sport. That's what he was saying. It's just a feel-good sport.
That's 2 different levels, dude. Trust me, he got to be a young dude because there's no way. Because I'm telling you, when I was between 13 and probably 16, I was out there caddying, and I'm carrying doubles. I'm carrying 2 golf bags at a time, running between 2 different golfers. One dude maybe on one side of the fairway, the other dude maybe on the other side. That's a workout. So I don't know if this dude just trying to get a little hype machine going to get his, as usual with these youngsters with the I want my virtual tweets and all. That's all he's trying to do. He just trying to get some spotlight on him and people talking about him because he ain't moving the meter in the rankings. That's all this is. That's all this is. But once again, like I said, if I was commissioner of the pro golf, just call me Red and you come on into my office because me and you gonna have a little chit chat.
Yeah, so that's what because when I heard that, when I watched it, I was like, so you saying what Tiger Woods did and all the golfers before you is nothing?
He's just trying to get the spotlight.
I said, there's no way. No way.
That's all.
All right. Well, we're going to kind of move it on. And Arkell, you got some shenanigan news for us?
Yeah, I got 3 to give you.
All right, here we go. Come on through.
First one, I want to know from you guys a quick answer. you go in the Popeyes and they mess up your order. What's the thing that that's gonna make you do an about face to go back in? I mean, what's the main cause if you get your order messed up?
My food code.
Okay, food code, Tanya. What's you, Troy?
Wrong order?
Huh?
The wrong order?
Wrong order. What's you, Lois?
I mean, both of those, either food code or you got my order wrong.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a woman named Belinda Miller. So she was, I think, 50 years old. So she decides to take her car and run it into Popeyes after her order was missing her biscuits. She was charged with aggravated vehicular homicide and criminal damage because her order was missing her biscuits.
She killed somebody?
Almost did.
Jesus.
Almost did. Rammed the car right through right up to the register.
Them biscuits ain't that good.
Right.
Right up to the register.
So you gonna lose all your insurance, all your limits of liability for some biscuits?
Yeah, so she in the pokey for vehicular assault and criminal damage.
God, you lost your job over. That's like losing your job on your day off. They're gonna be in the summer like, where you lose your job? Biscuits. What?
Yeah. Over a biscuit.
You're gonna get beat up for just that reason.
All right, now next one, and I know we all done had this night. A guy named Lloyd Preston, 57 years old in Florida, shot a man and killed him because he was peeing on the side of a building. He told authorities that the man attacked him, and after video surveillance was shown, what's his name? A guy named Mr. Hughes. He was 21 years old. The video showed that he'd made no aggressive moves towards Lloyd after killing the man for peeing on the side of the building. And the bonus part of this was Lloyd did not own the property.
Oh my God. That's a villain. What? That's a
now.
He going to jail for
many a night I've been fried out and about. I done peed on buildings, maybe your tire on your car, but blowing somebody away over this stupidity at its finest.
Stay in your own business.
So he was a vigilante.
That's what I was about to say.
Basically, piss vigilante.
And he just threw his life away from that.
Threw his life away.
So he gonna be another one in the slammer saying, "Why you in jail? Because I killed a pisser."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, vigilante. And I got one more for us before we get out of here. Yeah. And this one involves our beloved and most honorable minus 45. He built the wall on the wrong side of the perimeter, as far as I'm concerned. So in this case, the perimeter should have been built up north of me, Canada, because I think we got a problem coming this way. And Troy, you're going to like this one. So I'm going to read this one. I'm going to let y'all catch it and run with it. So Canada Wildlife has been monitoring wildlife in that area, and they have developed that there is a super pig that threatens to invade the United States. This super pig is a cross between wild boar and domestic pig. This new species can weigh up to 660 pounds. It survives frigid temperatures due to its size. The pigs the pigs just don't bring their ferocious appetite when they go in this area right now. Once they cross the border, scientists are saying they expect them to pass some type of dangerous virus onto humans once they start to migrate. And they say this super pig is highly intelligent, says once it is hunted, it is elusive, and they can become nocturnal in order to stay out of being hunted. And hiding in heavy forest areas So they're saying that these cats is intelligent. They say once they feel that they are being threatened, they go into like a nocturnal mode and they disappear. So get ready for the new invasion from Canada. They saying this is a real thing. They hiring people now to slow this down. They saying the average weight on these jokers when they get full blown is 660 pounds.
Oh my God. I just posted it inside of in the live feeds. Y'all can click on it and see these wild super pigs.
The
That
only
is
thing
huge.
that Bob, I listened to everything you said, and the only thing that's familiar with the pig is from the Predator. The Predator is the only thing that disappears.
No.
Gets
The
elusive.
movie you need to talk about is what's that one where they was in the library and they brought that crate in and the dude ate that leaf and turned into that what is that movie called? Oh man, you gotta know that movie, Troy. It was like when they was in this library and they brought this crate in to this rare leaf and this dude.
I know what you mean. They was in Chicago.
Yeah.
They was in Chicago.
And he turned into this big ass warthog.
It was called
what's that movie called?
Leviathan. I know what you mean.
Now you went all the way back.
Oh, that movie was a good movie.
Because it was like a mix. It was a mix between like a tiger, a human, and like all other kind of
had
stuff.
the big tusk on it.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
they
saying it's a real thing up there.
Pig is
so
elusive. He like disappeared.
Yeah, minus 45 built the wall on the wrong side of the perimeter. So let the Mexicans bring the cocaine in. Let's keep the wild boars out.
Well, you trust a man that's orange?
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh my
So that's it for the shenanigans news tonight. So I'm real interested in this little hybrid board thing, man, because they saying this is a real thing.
Troy, he got you on. He was like, whatever.
I'm giving you the news.
And RKLs wants to give you, I give it up because you always bring the shenanigan news. Always. I tried to bring it last week, but listen, it was all you. It's all you. It's all you. You got it. So as we wrap up, it's the end of Black History Month. A lot of celebrations that went on throughout this year. North Carolina's women's basketball team put social justice issues front and center. So kind of, and Brittany Griner, she goes through the drills in her first open workout since release. So she re-signed and she's ready to start playing again. Do you think that was
go back to Russia?
Those words are not the views of Sports Kales Wine and Brew. Those views are not the views of the Sports Kales Wine and Brew show.
Wow, boy.
Once again, keyword phrase is from a fan's perspective.
And you are operating from that fan's perspective tonight, all day. All day. All right, well, while we wrap up, it's the end of can't you believe it's February? March Madness. March 1st is next week. March Madness is in 2 weeks. So it's going to go down. The women's basketball, we're getting ready for the Big Ten tournaments that are starting next week for all over, all the different conferences. So it's going to be crazy, crazy basketball all next week. Again, we ready for some NBA. We ready for some WNBA. You already know NFL is over. College football is over. Spring games. Really want to get a quick little mention. Colorado. Deion Sanders just blew out the water for the spring game. It is again, sold out. They still have some tickets left for $10. He said that this has been one of the biggest spring game attendance in over, I think, about 7 years, they said. So I'm going to get there. I'll try to get RKL to take me out there in April, but we're going to get to one of them Colorado games. I'm going just so I can see the hype, just so I can see was how I want to go see the Colorado Rockies. So, kind of as we end this show, what do you think about Deion Sanders going to be in Colorado? Is it going to be what he did in Jackson State, or is it going to be a bust as we roll up out? Who want to take it first? What do you think, Bookie Troy? You think it's going to be a bust, or you think he's going to do well?
Do I think Deion Sanders is going to be
Do well this season? Is the Colorado Rockies going to be all? It's going to live up. Is Deion Sanders going to live up to all the hype that's happening around the city?
All right. Well, the Colorado Rockies is the baseball team.
Well, I'm talking about the Colorado Buffalo. I'm talking about the football team. I was saying I want to go see the Colorado Rockies.
So the Buffaloes.
The Buffalo.
Colorado Buffaloes. I think, yeah. I mean, it's Deion. So it's going to be a lot of hype around it. His son going to be the quarterback. He's not going to come out the first year and go to the playoffs. No. But once he gets his recruiting stamp down, I think that he'll be a top 10 team. I'll give him about 3 or 4 years till the Florida State coach gets fired, and then he goes to Florida State.
Okay. What about you, Arkell, as we wrap up?
I'm gonna leave with Troy on this. Like I said, he'll be in some close games, but he gonna take a couple of knuckle sandwiches to the chin this first season. That competition level is a lot different than Jackson State, so he gonna get bloodied up a little bit. But like I said, he may sneak and win some games here and there, but I don't see them. I don't see them being participating in any bowl games this year. I think it's going to be a 5-win team, and he'll have to build off of that.
Okay. What about you, Lois Lane?
No, I don't think it'll be a bust. I mean, there'll be some growing pains, but I think they'll get the minimum number of games needed because it's 6 to go to a bowl game. So, yeah, I think they'll get the minimum number of games needed to go to a bowl game. Get out! I'm still on air. So
I swear, I think she's a drill sergeant in the reserves in her full-time job.
Yeah, because the Colorado football schedule, really quick, they got TCU on September the 2nd, Nebraska the 9th.
They got TCU?
Yeah.
Long. Go ahead.
They got TCU September 2nd. They got Nebraska Cornhuskers on the 9th. That's at home. Then they got home again against the Colorado State Rams. Then on the 23rd, they go to Oregon Ducks. I mean, they got a heavy schedule. They got USC Trojans on the 30th. Arizona State Sun Devils on the 7th. Stanford Cardinals the 13th. Then they get a bye. And then the second part of the season, they got UCLA, Oregon State, Arizona Wildcats, Washington State. Then they play Utah, which is Thanksgiving weekend, and then the Pac-12 championship on December 1st.
Like I said, they're gonna be lucky to get 5. They're gonna be lucky to get 4 or 5 wins.
Okay.
5 wins.
And no bowl, Lois.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go to a bowl. I think he'll go to I know he's gonna lose a couple because when I saw he coming out the gate with TCU, I like it because he wants to see where his team is gonna be at. It's early in the season.
Yeah, he's gonna find out real quick.
Yeah, because I said you hitting TCU horn. I mean, you pulling that straight out the gate. I said, woo! You making your son have to pull up.
Don't put too much on TCU because they lost a lot. They done lost the quarterback. Running back is gone, so they might.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know it's gonna be a good game, but I was like, when it comes to your son moving into the Pac-12, that's gonna be a whole different beast. You putting him right out in the spotlight, right on Labor Day weekend when football is first coming in the gate. I said, okay, Deion, but I feel too. I think it's gonna be a 6-6. I think they can get to a bowl game. I'm not sure they can take it to the next level. But they're gonna beat it. But if his son played like he played in Jackson State, they're gonna be able to play. They're gonna be in contention. It's all gonna be about closing the game. Because that's where sometimes where his son don't do well. He don't know how to close out big games when it's a big team.
I'll give him 2 years till he get the recruits that he wants.
Yeah. And he gonna get them recruits because that
He got a couple coming in.
Yeah, he got a couple
Right.
coming in.
Already got a couple coming in. So
And I like the
yeah.
way, and I like the way that he really does a lot when it comes to the players. Like he really, it's about being respectful. He was like, "We don't got no women beaters here. We don't got no drug dealers here. It's ain't this place for you." So
Yeah,
just
'cause
kind of,
I saw a clip.
Yeah.
I saw a clip where he brought in. Now I don't know if this was recently when he just got started at Colorado or while he was at Jackson State, but he basically brought in all the females that was working with the football team.
yes,
Let them know right off rip, you're
Right.
going to respect these women. You're going to call them by their name or their title. Like he basically let the whole players and the staff know we
See,
ain't
that's-
having none of that shenanigans here.
Right.
He got that red mentality.
he got that what?
Red mentality. Red off of 5 Heartbeats.
When he's
Red.
saying
He got
red,
that
he's
red
saying my
mentality.
office hours are from 8 to 5.
Telling you.
And you ain't lying because I've been following Deion Sanders like every day. He got a word of encouragement for me, buddy. A word of
Or is it
encouragement.
9 to 5? Is it
It's
9 to
9
5 or
to
8 to
5.
5, Bob?
9 to 5.
wrong. That's what's wrong with these fools, man. That's like Eric Bieniemy. What he going through? They say he's like an in-your-face coach, and the players don't like that. They don't like that red mentality, a Suge Knight mentality. They want somebody soft as cotton.
But that's how these players get in trouble. That's how these players, like the other player, we know he now in trouble for being an accessory to murder. Like y'all supposed to be playing ball and y'all giving guns away to your friends to go shoot other people. Like these are major stars and y'all throwing y'all's life away. So I like the way
He
Deion.
ain't threw his life away. He's still playing.
Yeah, I mean he's still playing, but you already know once it all come out, you're gonna get sat down just like the Alabama
Now, if
started
that
out.
was the last,
Well,
now
I
if
don't
that was the
know
last
because
player,
no, according to Alabama law, he's not responsible.
And that's just what's so crazy.
now
like,
if that was
yeah.
the last player on the bench, he'd be off the team.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's been the talk. And let's see, I was watching. Oh my God, what sports show was I watching this week? And I think it was First Take because they opened with it, and they had Mike Wilbon and Paul Feinbaum on there. And I think it was Paul Feinbaum. He said he even had people calling into him and talking to him and was like, "This is crazy. If he was a bench player, he'd be off the team." Like that is one narrative of this that has been out there and they have been talking about is the hypocrisy and the double standard of this.
Right. Yeah.
Because he is a star player. And I'm like, you know what? They knew every detail from jump.
Yes.
They did. But the way the AD did that interview the other night with Jay Billis, you would think that they had just found out some information from, the grand jury testimony that day. And they made the decision when everything went down 5 weeks ago that this young man was going to play, But this goes back to what we was just talking about with Deion Sanders. And this goes back to what I was talking about earlier in the podcast, where this generation, you can't humble them. You can't knock them in their chest and they don't get offended, go home crying to mommy or daddy. And it's like even mommy and daddy can't do that. Or the kids going to school hollering abuse. Like these kids are out of control.
Yep.
And shoot, I dare somebody try to tell me how to what I can do with mine. I dare you.
We know because we hear you in the background.
We see you every week going in.
We hear you on a daily basis. We already know.
Look, the society we in now, the girls is just as bad as these little boys. They are just as bad.
Now the girls is even worse than the little boys. It ain't the girls no more. It ain't the boys no more. It's them girls.
Exactly my point. I got 4 girls, and I'm gonna keep them reined in because I got my dad's mentality. I don't bail nobody out of jail. You will sit there.
You know that's right. You do the crime, you do the time.
Good time.
That's why I tell
Glad you
folks.
ain't my mama.
Hey, I get it from my daddy.
That's why I said you don't want to be doing. Oh, what? Never. All right, well, we wrap up. So the lead editors next week is going to be RKLs. Next week will be March 3rd, the first week of March. Like, these months is going by already. You know, we can talk about more. I mean, we could probably stay on, but it's almost 11 o'clock. So we're going to wrap this show up. Sports Kales Wine and Brew Crew is always a pleasure having everybody on different hot topics. I know our football season is over, but we got some great hot topics that are getting ready to come into play. Again, make sure.
USFL.
We said what?
You got the XFL and USFL.
Yeah. So we got some football that's going to get ready to come in. I'm all about the March Madness that's here. Again, really quick as we wrap going off the air. Parents of third graders, the third grade guarantee test is happening. It is what? It's the test. It's a state test. 700 for the third grade guarantee. If there's another test in place, usually it'll be iReady or the MAP score, maybe NWEA. It's about a 188, 195 score. Please make sure you are talking to your teacher, to your child's teacher, finding out what they are doing, what type of interventions are available. If there's tutoring that is happening in your school building. If your child does not pass the third grade guarantee, they will not go to the fourth grade. There's nothing that you can do. You can take your child all the way to Timbuktu, and you're going to be in the third grade. So please take it seriously. 7 weeks to the testing, end of March until the second week, right around spring break, is the testing window. If they do not pass the test in the third grade, they will begin the next year, 2023-2024 school year in the third grade. They will get an opportunity. You will get an opportunity, I think, in the summertime, but it just depends on the school building in the school district that you are in, if they will do third grade testing in the summer. If not, then your child will have to go to the third grade at the beginning of the year. More than likely, they take a test in September. If they pass the test then, they will go to the fourth grade. But when you think about moving your child from the third grade to the fourth grade in the middle of a school year already, because that won't be till like September, October, your child has already missed the first quarter pretty much of the fourth grade. So those are just different things that you need to think about. Seniors, if you have community service hours, come to Empower Our Youth Foundation. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. We can sign your community hours. That is another thing. Making sure your high schooler has their appropriate hours they need to graduate, because they will not graduate if they don't have those community service hours. A lot of state testing for fifth grade. If you do not take and pass your state science test, more than likely, it depends on the school district, you will not be able to go to the sixth grade. So make sure that you're going to the Ohio Department of Education's website, put a state assessments in. They have like a little flyer that has all the testing dates. I will put that out there. As an educator, we must educate ourselves, parents, of what's happening in our school building. Asking your teacher what type of schoolwork. As for, comprehension and reading, you need to be pushing your child to read every night. That's K through 12. They need to read at least 20 minutes nightly. Writing is a major component of the third grade guarantee test. They got to write a multi-paragraph. That means they have to write more than 20 words, not just IND, but what? They got to write. And that's to get 1 point. So you got to be understanding what's happening with this state assessment. We're wrapping up. We got about 55 days of school days. Not including the weekend, but just school days, not including the spring break that is involved. So please, if you have any questions, you can contact me. Get on Teacher in the Community on Facebook. I will let you know. Again, I will put the Ohio Department of Education's flyer that they have out on the website. And I'll put that underneath the chat. RKLs, put your shenanigan news where we can see some of those shenanigan news at. And have a wonderful weekend. Be blessed. Bundle up, because right now they're supposed to have another cold front coming through here. So, Sports Kales Wine and Brew signing off. We out.
Remember, treat them like red, 8 to 5.